Hello, I'm going to make a short video to tell you how to take the midterm and all of the parts. So your midterm exam is a comprehensive exam, meaning there are several parts that go into your grade. So you're going to make a book project, which is going to be 25% of your grade, an exhibition, which will be 25% of your grade, and the actual test, which will be 50% of your grade. So that might alleviate some test taking stress. And the other two are more creative, and you'll do a little research. So the first part, the book project, you're going to choose either the evolution of sculpture from prehistoric to Baroque time period or the evolution of painting. I didn't include architecture because we just um, kind of did a project based on architecture. So you're going to research the topic. You're going to find 4 images. You can do more, but I don't know that if you have time for that. And create a book based on your research. So the research should show the evolution. So you're going to choose them from different time periods and show what has changed from one place to the next. And I have an example for you. If you want to be creative, you can make it into like a children's book with a little character or something like that. Some students do that. So let me show you an example of a student who, whoops, I'll go back to the beginning. So this is um, simplebooklet.com. It's free, so that's an easy way to do it. Honestly, if you run out of time, this format's not any more difficult than PowerPoint, but you can just make a PowerPoint show if you need to do that instead. So you can see this student, and please don't copy this. This student started with Egyptians, talks about what it looks like, describes it, gives it, identification, and goes on. So it should be chronological to how sculpture has changed, how it's changed more, and the correct historical information. Romans, and then Renaissance, and you could get to Baroque for yours, so because sculpture does change quite a bit with Bernini. So that would be an example of sculpture, and there's the sources there. You can also do painting, so you can very easily plug in painting for this, um, to show how painting has changed from one time period to another. So each of these, you're going to choose one. It should be chronological. You're going to identify them, give the historical information, and then you should say, why it's changed or how it's changed. So a good description of each. All right, and there's simplebooklet.com. This form is um, on your module. Okay, the second part is an exhibition. And for an exhibition, which is a show at a gallery or museum, and in this case, it's a um, fake show at a real museum, Metropolitan, you are going to organize an exhibit called The Art of Storytelling, Narratives in Art from Egypt through the Baroque. So you're going to choose things that tell a story, and most of the things, I can't think of one that does not. Some sculptures don't really, but of course, like the David in the Renaissance, that tells the story of David and Goliath, so you could even use that. You're going to choose at least 4 works of art from different time periods to include in your show, and just write about what the story is. What is the narrative, the story that's being told? How is it shown? Are conventions used? And what that means um, is the story of, say, the palette of Narmer is shown. You know who Narmer is because he's much bigger. So the convention is hierarchical scale. Or same thing with Narmer. The convention is you can see his full torso. He's twisted perspective, so that you can see, his muscle tone, and he doesn't have just one arm. And then also include, is the story true? Well, if it's based on the Bible, you can say it's a biblical story, and you can leave it at that. But say, going back to Narmer, was Narmer actually the guy who conquered um, the Upper and Lower Egypt, or was he, just showing something as political propaganda? All right, so you can make a slideshow, just a PowerPoint is fine, or a virtual exhibit, and I'm going to show you one of those. Please don't use Google Slides. I cannot open them, and then that will delay the grading. Let me see where I have this here. There it is. Okay, so this is something a student did. This is just a PowerPoint. So you can see the art of storytelling. And there's a story, the story being told, what the conventions are, Laocoon and his sons. This is a good story. Like lots of things have really good stories to talk about. This tells a whole story too, the convention using value. All right, so there it is. It's a whole show right there. I'm going to say again, please don't just steal from this slideshow. This is meant just to really help you out because I know that we are really barreling through this semester. That is the nature of the 8-week course. So there it is. So those two are the visual things. So hopefully, those are not too time consuming or too difficult. Please do not just copy and paste from your anywhere, not from your textbook, from anywhere. I will know. I've caught more than a few people doing that, and you'll just get a zero for each part, and the next time you do it, you'll get a zero for whatever in an academic violation. So please just don't plagiarize. You have an opportunity to use quotes and citations. Just do that. All right, and then I have included a review sheet for your exam. So this shouldn't be too hard because you already have most of that, your notes from the last exam. Let me pop that up here. Here it is. So really, you have up until 47. You already have, that's all the stuff that was on the last test. So some of it's going to come back around. So it makes good, questions to compare to these things. So you really only have 48 through 67 to add to your list to get ready for the exam. Again, I know it all seems so cramped in because I feel like I literally did just finish grading your tests, but that is just the way this course works. So please let me know if you have questions. And thanks for your work.